So first things first, I'm gonna press escape here. Adventure rank is 45. Exclamation point in orange says can ascend. Adventure EXP says 1,096,961. Would you like to explain? YouTube, hello! Beautiful frogs, we are here. Account review number 27. We've gotten a lot of juicy accounts over the years. What you guys will be seeing here is something that I believe the amount of people that would probably play the same way that this player plays is like less than 5. I feel so confident in saying that because the way that this player plays is very, very shocking, and they have a whole story behind it. You guys already noticed that the level of their Raiden Shogun is 72. I'm not going to show you anything else because if I show you anything else, then yeah, we'll get into it. Thank you to youwu Express for letting me review their account. I will let them introduce themselves.
So, hello everyone. I am youwu Express, the owner behind this account and another account. So, I've been playing this game since 4.0-2. So, I'm a fairly new player to this game. From all the streams, from all the friends that I've watched, I finally got into actually playing this game myself. And I thought, I have some ways that I play other games. So I thought, how is this game going to turn out? Because this is my first open world action RPG. And I came into this game knowing nothing about what's supposed to happen. So I think this is where I let my mind, like, I'm a little bit open. I'm open-minded with these games, and I try to play it to just enjoy the game rather than actually progressing through a proper progression path where all guides take me. So I decided, no, I'm gonna drive my own account, and I'm going to go and just play and just enjoy the game. I wanted something to pass the time because I had just graduated high school, and I had, like, a lot of my friends went to other schools that I wasn't a part of. So I needed something to, like, entertain myself, and that's where I got into Genshin Impact.
I see. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the concept that the way that you got into the game is very different than the way that probably a lot of people got into the game. And like the way that they're despairing is like, you did this because you willingly wanted to enjoy something. And then chat is like despair because this game is soul sucking and it's gacha hell, right?
Well, the other thing is, this is my first gacha game. So I didn't know what gacha exactly was when I started playing Genshin Impact. I thought that this was just going to be, oh, this is a game that I can just play F2P, and yes, Genshin Impact is enjoyable, completely enjoyable F2P. The thing is that it's a case where, like, F2P, you already get a ton of rewards. If you spend money, you get even more rewards. And gacha takes that to the next level. It tries to entice you to spend a bunch of money on this game, which I hadn't spent like whales and whales of money until now. I didn't even think about spending whales and whales of money. So that's where this account came to be, and why I have Raiden Shogun and a bunch of the characters that you see in the current team right now.
Okay, that was a great intro. Thank you very much, youwu. It seems as though, you know, your innocence got taken a hold of by Gage Game, which is no problem as long as, you know, things are spent responsibly. Let's go ahead and dive a little bit into what makes this account first so special, all right? So first things first, I'm gonna press escape here. Adventure rank is 45. Exclamation point in orange says can ascend. Adventure EXP says 1,096,961. Would you like to explain what adventure rank you would be if you know? Do you know how to calculate this? How much overflow this is?
If I ascend once, I would, of course, be capped at AR50 because there's another ascension quest at that time. But if I were to ascend that, I would be adventure rank 58 at this time.
Wow.
Adventure rank 58. And I still have so much EXP left to go.
Damn. I'm actually surprised you're not 60. I'm straight up actually, that's ridiculous. The fact that 1 million EXP post 45 doesn't actually get you all the way to 60. Okay, that's kind of crazy.
If I wanted to be at adventure rank 60 from straight to 45, I would be needing 1.672 million EXP. That's just how absurd adventure ranks 55 to 60 are.
They calculated it. Damn, okay, 1.672. You would need, it seems, like just over 50% more. Just over like, you know, 550,000 EXP more. And
just as a perspective, I have been playing this game for, if I remember correctly, it is 254 days. 254 days.
All good, guys.
So, and it does take more than a year on average to get AR60 EXP. Even if I were to be still at AR45 until the end, I would still need at least another 100 to 150 days before I would either reach this AR plus 1.67 million or AR50 plus 1.586 mil or go straight to AR60. So I'm not quite there yet.
Going over your characters really quick, I'm gonna just scan through the characters because you are AR45, right? And what characters that you have currently and what characters that you leveled. And then we're gonna get into the PowerPoint. So youwu prepared a PowerPoint for you guys to explain his journey. And as you guys heard, he has more than one account.
Unlike the account reviews you've seen from like Toho Sniper or CC-kun twice, if you don't understand the backstory behind how this account came to be, you will see this account as boring. So, because with the Toho Sniper account, every single character was built with like their best or almost best in slot weapon with crazy good artifacts and a bunch of R1s, and CC-kun's account is a bunch of R5s, C6 R5s. So it's easily implied how, like, what's the craziness behind those accounts. But with my account, if you don't know the story behind this, you won't know how this account became as crazy as it is.
I think I will let you go through your PowerPoint, but I want to give the viewers a little bit more credit. They see you as AR45. If it were me, I'd already be interested. Welcome to youwu's account review history, UID, blah blah blah. How this account came to be made. How do I go to the next slide? Okay.
How did this account come to be? Well, it's very well, I said earlier, friends got me addicted to this game, and I haven't stopped playing since then. I downloaded this game on August 30th, 2023. It took me 20 minutes to download this ridiculous size of a game on mobile, and we were at version 4.0-2 at the same time, at that time. So the second phase. So Fontaine just came out.
Got it.
Fontaine just came out.
You had the worst experience. You started the game on mobile, and your friends were the one that got you into it. Are you still friends with these people? I'm just curious.
Yes, they are. Except they don't really play Genshin Impact anymore because they're on to something else.
Okay, got it. All right, next slide.
This is my first gacha game, so I don't know what to really do. So I just kind of started to explore Mondstadt. I followed the quest as it is, and because in the very beginning, every single Archon quest, like every act, is locked by a new rank, and at the time I didn't know what to do because I was at adventure rank 9, but another act, the next act in the Archon quest required rank 10, and also 15, and so forth. So I was a puny level 11 traveler fighting level 30 to 33 enemies in the mountains. I don't know how I got into the mountains. Everything was saying highly dangerous. Snow-covered path, highly dangerous. Entomb City, outskirts, highly dangerous.
This is actually such a unique perspective, right? Because you have not played gacha before, so the way that you explore the game is going to be so much different than the way that someone on twitch.tv would explore the game. A lot of people who are on twitch.tv are so experienced with these games. We blast through, right? We want to get as far as possible, as quickly as possible. So we don't get your sense of like, oh shit, what the fuck am I doing right now? Being AR9, not knowing what to do. You're a level 11, you're fighting level 30 enemies. You're probably like, holy shit, this game's hard. I want to add my little commentary in between because I think it's so nice to see the different perspective between how you play versus how other people play.
So, at the beginning, well, I never knew there were rank locks and caps, and you had to do something to continue raising your rank, which is what we know as the adventure rank ascension. And at this point, I was only using the starter characters. So the Traveler, I was on Animo Traveler, Amber, Lisa, and Noelle, because you're guaranteed Noelle in the beginner banner, which is 20% off, which is 8 wishes for 10 pulls. And because I already was, it was already version 4.0, I got the 10 wishes for free as part of the Hoyoverse rewards upon reaching adventure rank 10. 10 for 10 at 10. And that's where I pulled to get Noelle. But from that point, I was still totally new to this game, so I didn't know what characters were the strongest, what characters were the most versatile, and what characters make best teams. So I was just using this puny team, not knowing what I was really doing. I was just fighting physically and just spamming attack button when I saw fit.
I love the fact that you never knew that there were rank locks and caps. And you had to do something to continue raising your ranks. So like the concept of your account to be locked at AR45 right now is having some context.
So this was I'm skipping over a little bit of the boring stuff because you wouldn't want to just see everything. So I skipped over to the adventure rank 25, and this was where I actually started seeing my overflow, because adventure rank 25 I saw overflow. And I saw, I didn't know what was going on here. And at the same time, it gave me the option to go Adventure Rank Ascension 1 and clear the runes. But I know that at Adventure Rank 25, I was still at AR25 at the time, I was leveling up my characters, I was just leveling up just random weapons, like just random prototype Rancor, which is free, and Cloud Bow is also free. They can be leveled up to level 50 at the time. And only after I finished the level 50 ascensions did I actually decide to go and ascend. And I didn't know what rank I was going to be at the time, because I come from a mobile game called Clash of Clans, where it is actually strategically wise to max every building out for your current town hall level before you move to the next town hall. And that's what I took that philosophy from. I wanted to max out my characters for the current adventure rank, which was adventure rank 25. Adventure rank 25, you can level your characters up to level 50. And then I decided to go into the quest. And it took me so many foods, because if you remember, back then I hadn't, this was before the adventure rank ascension adjustment in 4.2 or something. Oh
shit, that was a thing. Oh my god, that was a thing, wasn't it? They made the fucking...
They adjusted... They made the AR ascensions way easier.
Oh my god, the quality of life that the game released way back in the day now is actually having use. That's unbelievable, because, by that time, most of the people who watch my content are already, way past that point. So, to hear you actually utilize a quality of life feature that seems useless from, my perspective, that's an XDD moment.
By the time I actually ascended, I was past AR30. My mobs got way harder. They were in the 40s at the time. Oh,
I see. Okay.
I don't remember what it was, but it was 30 plus, because I remember fondly from my farming Mora at the time that I was getting 36,000 Mora. So, which is World 3. I didn't really know what to use with my resin at the time, because the adventure ranks are going by so quickly. I don't even, I'm still kind of lost in this game. I was dumping thousands of resin on ley lines, and even worse, I didn't know that there were going to be achievements for this. I was racking up millions of Mora in no time, and not leveling up very many characters, because I had Amber, Lisa, Kaya, Noelle, and Barbara or something, because Barbara's free. So basically just a bunch of free characters.
You leveling up, or you using the ley lines for Mora probably was the best decision that you could have done, I think, besides EXP, because everything else you kind of get more value out of over time. So that is good.
Yeah. That was good, but I didn't know it was good. I decided, because I didn't really know what I was doing, I decided to just keep exploring the map, and I kept going. at this point, I made it to AR35, just doing like ley lines and Mora and all the stuff. And then whilst I was stuck at AR35, I made it all the way to Fontaine. And the enemies didn't get any harder because because Genshin Impact tries to keep the mobs around the same level across the whole of Teyvat.
Holy
and I was gonna be like, oh, I need to unlock the vast majority of TP points, like minus the ones that maybe are like quest locked or like that I clearly don't know how to do. So, and I was trying to get to every corner of Teyvat except for Inazuma because like it was so far from the system and I didn't know how to get there. And I had to actually search, and I realized that you had to finish Inazuma in order to like make it work. You have to finish the Liyue quest, start the Inazuma in order to get to Inazuma.
Yeah.
I also did not know I was high enough rank to unlock it. I just had to, and I also didn't know I had to finish the Liyue quest at the time.
Totally reasonable. It's funny because the only other way is like you attempt to ice bridge. There's a lot of at the time when Inazuma was released, there was so many YouTube videos about like attempting to ice bridge from it was like near Beto's ship. It's like near Beto's ship. You try to ice bridge from there all the way to Inazuma.
But then I came to realize that like there's a barrier that blocks you from going into Inazuma, so I decided not to do it.
Yeah.
And at this time, I was chatting with my friends, and I was building every single character with HP, and more HP. Basically, all the artifacts that I scrounged up before I started farming artifacts full time, because my friends told me that they had some characters at like 40,000 health. So I was trying to get that because
that's beautiful.
Well, I didn't realize at the time that some characters are 40,000 health because they were HP scaling. So 40k health was the proper decision for those characters.
Yeah, fine, totally fine. It's just funny seeing how you came to learn how to progress through the game.
And I wanted to go to Inazuma and finish the system. So I decided to finish the Liyue quest at this time. I was still AR35 and way over cap at this time, and still using the starter characters. And then I decided to rush to go to Inazuma as fast as possible so that I could also finish the Inazuma exploration and unlocking the teleport points. And AR35 was also where I completely finished the Inazuma story because I really fell in love with Inazuma the time I went there. And like when Beto gave a lift and Toma took us to the border control, which because before you finish the quest, there's the Sakoku decree, which you have to you also have to get the Rito travel permit, and I fell in love with that concept. And I was trying to figure out how can we get the Inazuma Wave Rider into Liyue. I was almost thinking there's no way out. Like you have to use the teleport waypoints. When I saw how to defeat La Signora and like the Raiden Shogun boss fight in the arc in chapter 2, I was thinking, are these boss fights at level 90? And I was searching like, oh, these are some of the most difficult bosses in the game. But then I was trying to get every one of my characters to level 70 at the time because AR35 max level is 70. But when I got in, I was thinking, and then people kept telling me like my boss won't be level 90 because I'm apparently with my adventure rank or something. When I went in knowing I would need intense precision, like I knew I was gonna fight this to the death. When I started the La Signora fight, she was level 47. So the game adjusted my boss to level 47 because I was adventure rank 35.
Makes sense.
I was like, what a joke this is. I was originally going to do level 90 for the fun. And then level 47 was a joke because like Seigneur does like less than 1,000 damage to my character.
So just to summarize, you were reaching the point where because what you were seeing online, you tried to prepare for that, which makes sense because that's something that I would do. If I were like a newer player, and then you realize that your world rank does not align with the same world rank that theirs does, and so your fights were a lot easier. That's the TLDR.
This is where I decided, how do I complete? And then I took a look at the story quests, and I was like, I found on Google that you had to clear the second Raiden story quest to abolish the Sakoku decree, but it required adventure rank 40. So I decided, oh, it's time for me to go as fast as possible to ascend, but I wanted to wait until everyone was level 70 out of 70 with weapons at 70 out of 70 before going to AR45. And so I was like, okay, it's no more wasting time. I'm already all 70 out of 70. Let's go. And I ended up overcapping EXP again for the third time straight. And then I made a mistake after Ascension. I ascended the Traveler to 80 without knowing what I was doing. This was before I was gonna cap my characters in the 70s.
Oh,
and I was
see.
actually only intending to A5 70, which is Ascension, like you ascend the character, but you don't add any more levels.
Yeah.
And then level up the talents. Noob mistakes 101. But I allowed the weapons to go past level 70 because it wasn't affecting the enemy level color. But now all of my enemies are white color because the Traveler is 80. Because typically, when you're a max player with level 90 characters, when the enemies are like around your party level, like your highest character level, the characters are green.
Basically, chat, what he's describing is the equality of level of your characters. So basically, if you're over leveled of the character, the enemy's text is going to be white. And if you are equal or around the same level, it's going to be green. And if you are below level, it's just an indicator of like the difference in level between you and the enemies.
So the next slide is, I made it to AR45. So at this point, I rushed to finish the Raiden story quest, abolished the Sakoku decree, and went straight to Sumeru. Again, I thought the Balladeer was also level 93 because I was trying to prepare with the same mindset. And it was another joke of a fight, though a little bit higher level. It was way too easy because this is the story. This is the Archon.
At least that's good, right? At least you were totally ready for fighting something that's really high level, and then you kind of just probably smacked the boss.
I had like 1,000 restorative food pieces ready to go.
Oh my god. Bro is ready for like an apocalypse each time he's fighting an Archon, or fighting the Archon boss or something.
This is when I realized, oh, I wanted to, like, I saw people playing Raiden Shogun, and I wanted her so badly.
Finally, okay.
I still farmed Mora with Primo Gems, but after refreshing 3 times per day on Mora, any extra Primo Gems went into wishes.
Wait!
I never had Primo Gems into...
Oh my god, you did what? Wow. Okay, this is something subtle, but definitely needs to be explained. You started refreshing with Primos before... Okay. You didn't know any better. That's totally fine.
I didn't know any better because, well, I go 7. Well, I did eventually... I did save quite a number of wishes for Raiden. And I knew what I was looking for. I knew that, I was seeing, she wants energy recharge sands and an attack or electro goblet and a crit circlet. So,
right, that's fine.
So basically I was splitting my resin into a little bit of artifacts and a little bit of Mora. But anything that, but after 250 Primo Gems per day, I would buy wishes. So basically this was when I started spending money on the game with the battle pass.
Well, I don't know if you still do this, by the way. I don't know if you still refresh to farm. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but you know, like,
I do refresh resin, but it's not Mora anymore.
Okay, well, that's good.
Okay.
All good.
Next.
All good. Still important to mention that you started refreshing way earlier, because that is definitely gonna be like a whoa. It's a whoa thing. Okay.
I actually started refreshing around AR35. I thought that C0 Raiden was good enough because she was already bursting 400,000 plus. Like 400,000 plus was massive in terms of my perspective because I didn't know that characters could reach millions of damage. And by this time, I was already at version 4.2. I was watching the special program for 4.3, and truth be told, I was informed that Raiden was getting a rerun. There's a mistake in the PowerPoint. It's supposed to be 4.3-2, the second half. So it was the final stretch. I had around 170 wishes saved at this point, despite me farming Mora and refreshing with Mora. I still made it to 170. So then I thought, the chance of winning a banner rate up is 50%. It's a 50-50. And then I thought, if I fail, then that's a 50% chance to fail. But if I were to fail twice, that's a 25% chance because 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. So I thought, okay, I have a 75% chance to get her. I should be fine.
So you didn't understand the gacha system at that point, which is
I didn't-
totally fine. Also, I want to cut in here because I think it's important to know that you are someone that you're watching a lot of content while you're playing, and like the first statement here really is how do I say it? It's our fault as YouTubers for your perception of that first line. And so you think that C0 Raiden bursts 400,000, right? Which is totally reasonable because I think from the perspective of someone who's doing YouTube, right? Like sometimes when you watch content, that's what they'll want to show you, but it's not actually accurate. You're probably not going to be bursting 400k because you don't have the same crazy setup as a lot of other people do. So unfortunately, it's our YouTubers' fault for over exaggerating things for the consumer. For this, that's what I wanted to point out.
Because the original team I was originally going to do was Raiden National, Raiden Bennett, Shaolin Singqiu.
Yeah.
But that would never reach 400,000 plus because you don't have 3 buffers buffing Raiden to deal ridiculous damage. And then next slide. It was finally Raiden Day. Oh. Yeah. So basically, I started farming some artifacts for Raiden because I was like, yeah, I was barely able to do the level 88 domains, which is the level 4 domain, like Vine Infested Ruins 4. So I was having to do the Vine Infested Ruins 3. That was like how bad this team was, and I desperately needed a new team, ASAP. And I was also trying to get some of these new pieces, the new artifact pieces from the domain. I was also having to farm the level 80 domain at the time because I wasn't good enough for the level 90 domain. And also I didn't start farming Mora, so it was a 1-to-1-to-1 farming ratio at this point. So I was still farming Mora because I still needed to profit and get a net gain every day. But at the same time, I needed to make sure I could farm artifacts and talents on the appropriate days.
You developed an obsession to farm Mora, so that's this third line, which I've noticed over the past couple of slides. And then now you realize that you need to farm artifacts for characters, while also realizing that the domains are fairly difficult for the characters that you invested in. So that's where we're at now. Oh
so,
God, you are insane. What is wrong with you? How do you?
It's finally Raiden Day. It's finally Raiden Day. The day Raiden Shogun came out, I just got off of class, and because in North America time, it resets at 3 p.m. and I finished class just at 3 p.m. So I decided I saved 194 wishes and 94 million Mora. So I was like, I got home as quickly as I could, and I immediately pulled up Genshin Impact, and I started pulling for Raiden Shogun. I had enough materials to level up her to Ascension 4 level 70, and the deathmatch was already level 80 at this time. I claimed a deathmatch because I knew it was a good weapon for her because of the crit rate, and she needed crit. And her talents were, I had enough materials to get to 566. I was almost there, but then Raiden came out. So in my mind, I had a 76% chance to bring her home. And would I knew it, I got her. But it took 120 wishes, and I also had a little bit of pity saved up. So 38 pity. I lost the first roll to Kaching, and then I got her in the second time around.
We first noticed that you have so much Mora. And we'll probably dive into that on your actual account when we get into it. Second thing is, it's not incorrect. I wanna make sure that chat understands this. For a newer player who is like uninformed of a lot of things, it is not wrong to go for the deathmatch for her. Later on, when like you get invested into like other communities, you start to learn that the catch is which is free and farmable, and you can ascend it for free to R5. Then you can get the catch, and it is generally a better weapon. But this is not an incorrect choice for someone who is interested in Raiden and needs a weapon for her. And then you got her. And then
this was a time where I already knew that the catch was the best weapon, but the question was how to farm it.
Okay,
and then I realized I needed to like farm insane amounts of fish.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, no. Let me take the deathmatch first. This was day 0 Raiden, so I couldn't just have her on like a random weapon that didn't have a use case for her. So I threw the deathmatch on her for this. But since Bennett, Sarah, and Chevrolet were all on the same banner because they were the 4-star rate ups, I also got many constellations for them. They weren't C6 at the time, but they were at least more than C0. With the pieces I already had, she was hitting 27 to 45,000. This was Raiden hitting 40,000, which was already 5 times more than the Lisa did at Hold E with crit. And I could only imagine what damage Raiden would be able to do. Like, I already 5 times my damage output from my team, and I could still 10 times that on top of that. Which was the ridiculous thing. That was the ridiculous thought within me.
Okay, you came from this position from a very weak spot since your Lisa seems to be doing the most amount of damage. And then once this day passed and you upgraded your Raiden Shogun, now your Raiden is smacking for way more damage than your original team did. And now you're thinking, oh well, in previous YouTube video, I saw that Raiden could be doing X amount of damage, so she probably could be doing a lot more with more investment. Thumbs up. Okay.
Well, I had a 4-star crit rate at the time, so I had crit rate and more crit rate. My energy recharge 209%. 209%, which isn't bad because that's not a crit. It's not a recharge weapon.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, later in the day, I wanted her signature weapon at the time, and so then I pulled.
Okay.
And I got 2 5-star weapons in the same random temple, and this was before I spent any money on crystals.
Seeded account already. Okay, next slide. What did you end up getting?
They were both the wrong ones. Thundering Pulse
I'm kidding. Not
and Ammo's Bow. Well, I still laughed at this,
XBD.
even though it was a double 5-star roll loss. I just couldn't imagine how I managed to super early pity a weapon. Well, the Ammo's Bow and Thunder Pulse, they would come to use a little bit later, but that will be for later.
Yeah, so that's the great thing is that the 2 weapons that you did get ended up being fairly useful weapons overall. I'm just curious, did you push for it?
Next slide. I pulled another 10 times and laughed again. What? I actually got the engulfing lightning.
Oh,
I literally just got 3 5-star weapons in like 12 pulls. That was the biggest blessing I could have done. Well, I still had Raiden was still on deathmatch because the day I pulled for her signature weapon, I didn't have the domain was not the right one, so I had to wait for a few days. So I was like, I needed Raiden for the open world, so I just gave deathmatch for now. But I knew I was gonna switch it to it. So then here comes the spending me.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna try. I was considering, like, should I get more constellations for Raiden? Because I estimated that if her banner ended, apparently, because at the number of characters we had at the time, with like I think it was 82, 79, 77. Assuming it was 3 character reruns per patch, it'd be 4 years before she got her turn to rerun again. This was before the Chronicled Wish banner ever came out, so I never knew how this was gonna work.
Yep. Okay.
So I bought the $100 pack. I bought the $100 pack for like, I think it was like 12,000 crystals. I spent money to get her C2. I won both 5-star rolls that I came across, and then I bought the double crystal bonus, which I still had. I bought the 5-star. I bought the crystals and won the 5-star roll for C2. And then the next slide, I decided to actually try for C3 as well.
Yeah, knowing that, dude, this is so cringe. What I'm reading right now is so cringe, dude. Chad, you don't understand how lucky he is.
I was wishing at the Grand Narukami Shrine, and I knew I needed a wishing ritual, so I went there to do my wishes. And then I came back down to Liyue and decided to try for C3, because like C2 to C3, though it's just the burst level up, that leveling up of that burst is quite significant.
Yeah, we know.
So then I bought every single one of the crystal packs, because every one of the packs is double, which was the equivalent of the $100 pack doubled again. Truth be told, I pulled a random 10 pull, like after a bit of pity. I skipped the viewing because I didn't want to see if I won or lost. I pressed the skip button and I won the 50-50 again. That was 3 wins in a row.
Raiden Shogun stole your, how do I put it? Your gacha virginity. This is where you really first spent like a major amount of money. That's a thumbs up from me. I think Raiden Shogun is the person that breaks a lot of people who like originally come into this game and like start spending money. Now the thing is though, how fucking lucky you got, okay? Like, so you're getting 3 5-star weapons and 2 10 pulls. And then you spend 1 pack of money. You win both your 5-star 50/50s. You greed for C3 and you win C3 as well.
And from there, I managed to also get C6 Bennett, Sarah, and Chever's constellations. Because those were the 4, like, because they were the rate ups.
You were so greedy. I'm just telling you right now that you've probably spent just under $200 to get all this because you bought all of your double packs. The average cost for a C3 and the weapon pulls that you got is like almost $500 to $600. Just to put that in perspective, how lucky you got. You basically were $400 below what you should have spent to get that lucky. Because the weapon banner is where it's ridiculous. You hit max pity on your weapon banner, but it only took you 20 pulls. That could easily have taken you 200, right? Because like you've seen how bad it can really get if you go max pity and you go soft pity on every single one. That's 60 for each.
Right.
And then
because I remember there was that guy that spent $2,000 for 1 staff of Homo.
Yeah.
I saw that video, and I almost I didn't know what to expect for the weapon banner. Like I would have rather gone C3 the catch than C2 engulfing lightning, or even C0 engulfing lightning. That means I have C6 Bennett, Sarah, and Chever's constellations.
Oh my
as
god,
well.
this is disgusting. Chat, look at this lineup and tell me how you get this in under $200. From someone who dealt 7,000 damage with Lisa, spends $200 and their result is this? This should not be possible. Your whole account just completely changed after $200. Okay.
Now my artifacts were still trash, but the thing, but I knew based off of YouTube guides was that 3 out of these 4 characters did not need any crit value on their pieces. It was just Raiden that was very, very picky on the crit.
Yep.
Because the point of me playing this team was that Chever's needed as much health as possible, Bennett just needed as much energy recharge as possible, and same with Sarah. But Raiden needs all the crit possible.
You have a good understanding of like the general build of the characters, which is very nice.
Because this was when I started knowing this game a bit better. Because now it's been 3 patches. It's been 3 patches now. I've had a little bit of time to experiment with this game, and in the next slide, I was farming artifacts full time now because
dude, this guy is
finally right.
Oh my god, this guy has a crazy obsession with Mora.
I surpassed 100 million Mora, but then I realized because it's another digit, right? The difference between 99 and 100 million is another digit. But I decided after 100 million Mora, the only time I would farm was if I was actually making losses on the expenses, because it's expensive to level up talents and weapons and farm artifacts. That's the reason why I switched to this move. So the next slide shows my expectations for what I was going for. This was what I was going for in terms of like my pieces. These were my expectations.
Okay.
Crit rate and damage, energy recharge, and HP percent. And you might be like, why? Just a quick summarizer. 5-star artifacts can have either 3 or 4 lines as a start, but crit rate, crit damage, and energy recharge is only 3 out of 4 lines. So what's the 4th line?
I see.
I wanted HP percent because I wanted my Raiden to be a little bit more durable, but defense percent actually played out worse than HP percent.
Okay.
That's why I wanted it as a 4 line, but not to actually roll it because that's death. I wanted to roll the crit and then have like 6 recharge and 5 HP on a piece.
I love the analysis. I see that you lacked the attack percent, but that's okay. I think later on you probably realize that the filler line could have been an actual useful line, so it's fine. Okay.
Okay, and Bennett and Sarah, well, all they need is their burst. So their burst determines their viability. So nothing but recharge. Nothing but recharge and their talent level. And then Chever's also needed a nothing but HP and HP percent because she needs 40,000 health from the max boost, that 40% attack. So if I go into the next slide, I also level up Ammo's build for higher attack.
Okay.
At this point, I didn't know that it was based off of base attack. And then I randomly switched Bennett to prototype Rockcore because, I thought, the base attack was higher then like I didn't know it was base attack. So I was like, is this the right way to go, or should I pull a weapon with attack percent?
I think that's important.
I was bursting 300,000 at this point.
First
which
off,
is
big congrats to you, because this is a major upgrade from your previous damage output, and you know, at this point you probably got a lot more accustomed to Genshin and understand how the mechanics work, and so now your damage is actually at a point where you're seeing from the YouTube videos. I do want to point out the first line that you said here, that you didn't know about the attack. In my opinion, that is a Genshin problem. Genshin has never been very good at describing that, and even when we were early on in the game, we didn't really understand like Bennett's attack was from basic attack until we tried it out. So like, you're not faulted for thinking that it was from your full attack percent, because when we were all really early on in the game, that's what was initially thought before all the theory crafters were like, okay, it doesn't actually work like that.
And also, I thought Sapwood Blade was some sort of Sumeru gotcha weapon, because I saw some better built Bennett's using the Sapwood Blade, because it's also energy recharge on top of the same base attack. But
Yep.
I thought it was some sort of Sumeru gotcha weapon, so I didn't bother with it.
Yeah, totally fine.
Also,
Okay,
300k was kind of low. I progressed a little bit later because there wasn't much between 4.3 the Raiden pulls. Now, Chenyu Veil launches, I finished the exploration, and I go back to the artifacts. And I started to get frustrated with the artifacts and spending some crystals on artifacts with Vita Farm. This was at the same time because I needed, like, I was originally going to say, oh, I needed a new team for the Abyss, because you need 2 teams for the Abyss. And I was thinking, what should I make my second team? By this time, I was also playing on my second account.
Got it.
And I randomly early pitied Yai Miko on my second account.
Lucky
I
as
had never
expected.
I never early pitied characters on the main account. So I had to go for Yai on my main, and I spent another $200 for her.
Nice.
And I was thinking, Yai Miko Hyper Bloom, because like the totems can trigger the Dendro seeds. And at this time, around this time, I also bought a controller. So I wanted to just kind of play. I want to just play casually, and like I wanted to like play more comfortably. So I bought the controller, and I lowered the world level. Even though like my Raiden team was way overkill for the world. I just wanted to learn how to use the controller.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I made the mobs purposely easier, so that I could actually get accustomed to it.
Yeah, the controller part is not really like, it's more of like, you know, like how you were playing, but it's not really relevant to the actual like account status, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
I don't mean to like it's cool, but it's just like is unrelated to the account progression. I find it interesting how Yaya Hyperbloom was what you were thinking, which is, I think if you were a newer player, it's not like a bad concept. Because Hyper Bloom is a very strong team archetype that doesn't require much investment. It's just unfortunate that you chose Yai to do it, because Yai is more of a crit scaler.
So the next slide, we're already into version 4.5. So I realized I needed a second team for the Abyss, and I started to think Hyper Bloom was the way to go for me. And at this point, I submitted the Raiden for your character reviews. This was level 70.
Yeah.
With 63.7 crit rate and 144.1 crit damage with 280 recharge. Before anyone says 280 recharge is very average, Raiden Shogun gets 8% recharge from Ascension 5, 8% from Ascension 6, and my weapon was at level 80 at the time, which means I was still missing 21.5% of recharge, and I still had 280 under my bucket. I thought that Raiden Shogun, because 4-piece Emblem of Sever Fate maxes out at 300%, and also her weapon her weapon at R1, the cap is 386%, which is way overkill. It is beyond psychopathic to build that much recharge. But I wanted the extra recharge because I wanted the extra attack.
I'm impressed that you calculated it to this degree. Like, I think even the chef would be proud of you for how deeply you thought this through. It's actually kind of insane.
And like the thing was, 63 crit rate, 144 crit damage, that's not, like, that's very, very average. But the initial person seeing an AR45 with that would be like, what is happening with this account?
Guys, let me just correct for one moment. 63 crit rate and 144 crit damage is not average. It's pretty good. Just for anyone watching on YouTube who feels like their Raiden just got called shit because of that, it's pretty good. Okay, 663, 144 is still pretty good. It's just because at this day and age, a lot of us have been farming for so long that our expectations are extremely high. But for like the purposes of a player who's like getting into the game, like 63, 144 is very good. Okay, especially if you have to catch.
Also, I was already using the engulfing lightning at this point, but I also had a 41 crit value attack goblet, but I decided not to use it because that would drop my recharge, and I had my electro damage bonus goblet had 24-1 crit damage, 3.9 crit rate, and 11 recharge. I valued the extra recharge and also electro damage bonus scaled better because I have the engulfing lightning, and attack on attack on attack is diminishing returns. Okay, so and here we go. I started the Abyss. I built the second team. It was like Yai Miko, Xingqiu, Yao Yao, and like Dendro Traveler. I cleared floor 9, and then 10, and then 11 until 8 stars. And then I got stuck in floor 11-3. I had to flip the teams, and that gave me the 9 star. And then got floor 12. I ultimately worked out that, well, I got 28 stars on the Abyss after getting it. But then I pulled Nevalette. I spent money to pull Nevalette, and then I went Sangling, Xingqiu, Yao Yao. And then I got 30 and 33 stars on the Abyss. I also A5 my Raiden at this point, and my 4.6 Abyss record sits at 31 stars at this time.
Nice.
And the last slide is the current build setup. So Raiden Shogun has improved. I won't tell you what it is. We'll look at that.
Okay.
Bennett and Zora have more recharge.
Okay.
Sheris is 44k HP. Nevalette had overcapped crit rate, but I'm working on the pieces right now. So yeah, Xiangling's temporarily out of service because after the character review you did with me, Dia is nearly built but doesn't have full artifacts yet. And I'm also trying to save some golden troop pieces if Farina ever comes back.
Yeah, she'll come back. I think Youwu did a great job, actually. So he is AR45. He's able to clear 12-3, and he has a good amount of investment on a lot of his characters. So despite being AR45, because like his world is capped at world level 5, let me just see how much more you have.
The bag.
123,576,956.
Despite me farming artifacts daily, I am still trending upwards in terms of Mora. Simply because I don't waste Mora on foddering artifacts and foddering weapons. Weapons are useless, and leveling up characters because a lot of characters don't fit my playstyle at this time. But if there is a character that will fit the playstyle, I'll level them up one at a time.
So there's a lot of things that I like about the way that you play. You like to prepare. And I'm also a player that really likes to prepare ahead of time, right? Like a lot of different players will have more like impulsive decisions where like they just pull something and they're like, okay, cool, I like it, I'm gonna build it, right? But for you, you think about and schedule everything for your account. And that's really cool to see because then you have this really big story and you explain all your build and stuff. So I'm gonna go off of your PowerPoint. Your PowerPoint said Raiden Shogun, Bennett Sara, Chevreuse, Nevalette, Xiangling is temporary out of service. I'm still gonna check her build out. Dihya, and then do you have golden troop pieces on a placeholder for Farina? I'm just gonna ask you that.
I'm just distributing the golden troop pieces to any other character where golden troop is their best artifact set.
I see.
Like characters like Fischl or something. But I just started farming golden troops, so they're like 2 pieces.
Okay, got it.
But it's just a way for me to not discard so many pieces.
Got it. Okay. Let's go through their builds really quick, chat. So that means that you are technically playing at a disadvantage because if you are trying to do the Abyss, you have to do the Abyss with cap level 80 characters. In your case, they are level 70, right?
Right. And I am considering A5ing my characters, but like I want to keep them 70 out of 80. A5 70. So there's 5 stars. But I'm considering just keeping the rest of my other characters, all my other characters, to 70 out of 80.
Got it.
So this team is at 72 because I leveled this to 72 because 72 matches my world level. 72 matches
Dude,
my world
really?
level because my enemies are level 72. My bosses are level 72. If you look at the enemies tab,
What the
like the book,
This guy is like 10 steps ahead of everything. I don't even pay attention to what level my enemy. Wait, so if I go to this, let's just, as an example, what's something? I'll probably just TP to something really quick. Let's just TP.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
To this
I guess the Millennial Pearl Seahorse. Yep, and I did farm Millennial Pearl Seahorse with this team, so it is totally fine, even though the Seahorse has 50 Electro Reds.
Oh, that's fine.
It's totally fine.
You shred it down. Yeah, you shred the res down anyway.
The mobs are level 72, and my characters on the main team are level 72.
Damn, you really okay? I'm just surprised that would be a reason why you would level the character, but I respect. It's like this is your world, right? It feels so much like this is the world that you've created, and it's just like the perfect version for how you want to play. And that's so cool because like you actually execute on things that you want to do in your head, which is really cool.
Yeah, because at a max world level, the mob is level 93, and you can't 93 a character. There's no A7 unlike enemies. The maximum I could do this is adventure rank 50 with level 83 mobs. So
you even know that?
But under my philosophy, but like the philosophy of the way I play this game, I am still not ready to ascend to AR50.
Oh, is there a reason?
On this account. So there's two different reasons. One, I am still trying to get even more stars on the Abyss.
Okay.
And two, I am trying to make it so that when I ascend to AR50, I can level 90 and max and almost crown all of my 8 Abyss characters in my teams in one session.
You are absolutely insane. This guy is freaking your brain, the way that your brain works is just on a different level. I don't know, like, oh, that is crazy. Okay, so that means that 8 characters, right? 8 characters from level 70 all the way to level 90, calculating all of their EXP, farming everything, preparing all of that.
Yep.
Oh my
but
God.
at this time, I'm kind of just farming every single boss because I'm not fully, even now, I'm still not fully set in stone which characters will be the candidates for level 90 in the characters, except for the Raiden Hyper Carry team. So I still need 4 more characters, but it's also good practice for me to farm a bit of materials so that in the future, if I build another character, I can spend a little bit less time preparing them.
Got it. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, thank you, by the way. I appreciate the way that you play, and everything that you've said is very important for the structure, because each time you like describe what you're doing, I am more and more surprised. I'm like, how does he continue to do all these things? But for the sake of time, let's start to get into your builds. And I'm going to save your Raiden Shogun's build for last. Is there an order of builds you would like me to go through, like character-wise?
There aren't actually very many characters that have artifacts because I don't have very many artifacts on my pieces because I only keep the best of the best of the best pieces with the most overall artifact score.
Holy
which would be equivalent to your stat value.
Holy
There aren't that many pieces on this account.
Oh my God, so
but
you're even worse than me.
I strongbox a lot of pieces.
Okay.
And chat, just to remind you, strongbox unlocks at AR45 without needing to ascend. So that's why I'm able to strongbox.
That's good.
So
thank you for the information.
That's why I'm setting myself at AR45 and not something like 35. Because 35 I would be missing way too much.
Okay, so I just find it so crazy that like, so everything makes sense now to me. This is why you have so much Mora. This is probably why you have so much Mora, because you don't +4 things probably the same way like I do, right? Or like anyone in chat does. You don't try for a piece. The piece has to try for you. Isn't that crazy, chat? The way that youwu plays is that the artifact has to prove itself to him before he even considers rolling it.
I do +4 things.
Oh, you do? Okay.
But even +4 pieces go into the strongbox. So basically, I have a garbage +20 piece if it's already past the first stage, and I just go all in on the piece.
Oh my.
A plus 20 piece can fodder like plus 14 to 17 of another piece, and I do it for just 4,000 more instead of 100,000 plus.
If I were to give you a little bit of a recommendation, I know the way that you play. I'm just saying that plus 4 piece is fed into another piece would make it plus 4, which is a really nice way to save EXP. But if that's not a concern for you, then that's fine. I'm just letting you know that it's more efficient for you to feed a plus 4 into another artifact than for the strongbox.
Well, it's never really been an issue because you get a bunch of useless 4-star and 3-star artifacts per 5-star run, and I have so much more that it's not really a problem. But if it does get to a point where like I am running out of pieces to farm, I will consider plus 4ing into a plus 4.
So basically, he just called all of you guys in chat poor because you don't have you guys don't have as much more as he does, and that counts for me too. that basically counts for me too. It's fine. It's fine.
There's people that have farmed 200 million plus Mora, but they have taken years. So, but my account is 8 months old, so it's a newer account. The expense efficiency of my account is probably not something you would imagine from anyone else in this game.
Jeff says, I mean no offense by this, but this is psychopathic gameplay.
Jeff, what are you saying?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like that you play this way, and I don't want you to change how you play this way because it makes for such a good story. Because I'm like, there's other people who probably play the same way that you do, and like, it is strange for someone like for us to see you play this way. I like it. I think it's really cool. That's why I wanted to do this account review, because I was like, the way that you play is like so intriguing. Like I want people on YouTube to at least hear your story and see what you've done, because as you guys have realized in the past like hour or so, we still get surprised by the things that he does. You know what I'm saying? And like, there are some things that he does that I think are, you know, could change. Like the plus 4 in the strongbox, I think is genuinely something that like, hopefully he can adapt to, because it is very much a waste. But I'm just gonna say something because I am seeing a lot of people in chat, and I really want people to understand. A lot of people might disregard how youwu plays and be like, oh my god, he's so obsessive with how he plays, and like, you know, like I see some people saying like, you know, he's a mint picker or something. I just want to say that if you guys in chat don't like the way he plays, and like you guys are demeaning or condescending towards him, you guys are just self-reporting how insecure you are. Like I gotta say it, because like I think it's so cool the way that he plays. It's not the same way that you play, but that doesn't mean it's like wrong or like it's a bad way to play. So let's go through the artifacts on some of your builds so that we don't get sidetracked.
There are a lot of characters that have 0 artifacts, but within the characters that do have artifacts, let's run through them, and you might be surprised at what pieces I have. Okay. They are the best pieces, but like in terms of crit value, they're not the best. But that's okay. I look at like I'll be able to tell. Don't worry. I will be able to tell. I look at overall quality score, where I assign 1 point for crit damage, 1 point for crit damage, 2 points for crit rate, and then I also give partial marks for like a third stat, like recharge or HP, defense, attack, just almost like how you would assess a crit, like an artifact. Yeah, like stat value. Yeah, same thing. Yeah. Okay, so is there specific characters that you want me to take a look at? I'm gonna take a look at your right and last. Okay, so let's go Chevreuse first, because I want to show like how easy it was for me to cap her boost. She has 44,000 health because thanks to the Alchemical Ascension event, I got the Dialogue of the Desert Sands weapon, which is higher HP than than like the rightful reward. Chat, what the hell is this weapon? What the hell is this weapon? Where does it come from? It comes from the Alchemical Ascension event quest. which was a couple patches ago. So.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
XD.
And you might be, why did I choose this weapon over the Black Tesla if all I care about is HP? Well, this one I get a bunch of recharge if I stick it on Chevrolet.
I don't want to stop you, but once we get to the character builds, I can go over the stuff. Like you don't have to explain it to me because I'm gonna go over it much faster if that makes sense.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, so she doesn't really have crit rate damage or recharge issues because all I care about is that overcharged ball, which is trigger overloaded.
So
This recharge is not a problem because I have C6, so I have the extra energy from C6 and the weapon. So
yeah, I don't know how to do this. Artifact wise, 2-piece, this is totally fine. 2-piece is 40% HP. Artifact details. So based off what you said, right, you go for some really good artifacts. So what do we have here? We have 4 out of 5 rolls, just a dead roll, and that's really good for her. Crit rate, recharge, HP, perfect pieces. I mean, for the purpose of Chevrolet, this is all she really needs. It's just unlucky that it did not roll into recharge, which is, you know, there's just the unfortunate part here. You don't even technically need recharge if you're not bursting all the time. And then Goblet, this one probably, I mean, it's all you really need, just main stat stuff. And then body piece. So this extra crit, I think, is just totally extra. But for the most part,
it's totally extra.
Okay, yeah, totally
but
extra.
I do want to try. I do in the future, because Chevrolet is going to be way over cap. I want to transition her to a little bit of healing bonus as well.
Oh,
because that would do better for me in terms of, because I need Chevrolet to be a healer and heal up my characters fast.
That makes sense.
But she's already capped attack boost, so I'd much rather trade the HP for healing bonus. I just can't do it right now because I'm still AR45.
Yeah, got it.
With
Makes
lower
sense.
characters.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that you honestly know what you need for your Chevrons here. We're gonna move on to your Sarah. Sarah's 4-piece tenacity, so pure supportive, totally fine. Either 4-piece tenacity or 4-piece noblesse is fine. 4-piece noblesse is probably still better though, but depends on your recharge level and how well you can rotate your burst.
I'll just TLDR right here. Noblesse is on Bennett, which means it won't work on Sarah.
Got it. So
I have Ammo's Bow because it's the highest base attack. I don't have Skyward Harp, so that doesn't. So this is the second best choice.
Okay.
Tie with Thundering Pulse.
Okay, but I actually, the crazy thing, and what I kind of like, I'm smiling right now, is because you know your account so well. You know your account so much better than I have seen anyone else know their account. Because like, you immediately responded with, don't need it, because I have 4-piece noblesse here. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Using almost here for the base attack. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna smile. I'm just gonna smile and let you do your thing, because you know what you need. Really good recharge. What are the pieces that you decided to choose here? We have...
Basically, I decided to just go, for the sands, I went ER sands, and then the Goblin and Circlet, it really doesn't exactly matter, as long as I have enough recharge substats. So
that is true.
That's the reason why I went attack. This was the best piece I could do, and the Circlet HP because it's got 21 recharge.
So the only way, and this is a genuine way that you can actually improve your build, right? So you're right, you only technically need recharge, right? And so the main stat you can technically ignore. But this is a point where you can start to improve your build, because at the end of the day, when you start maxing out this type of team, Sarah can end up being a secondary DPS of sorts as long as you maintain. So once you get the pieces, you'll maintain this recharge. You'll start to add a little bit of crit damage. Her attack is already very high because you have almost spell, and all of a sudden she starts to deal a lot more damage, right? That would speed up your abyss clears. It wouldn't change the integrity of your build. It's literally just until you get the right main stat piece. Like when you get an Electro Goblet with 11% recharge, boom, that becomes a better choice here. And then here's the thing though, I think if you further want to improve the build, eventually you could convert your entire 4-piece tenacity into 4-piece emblem. And the reason why you can do that is because the damage that she does with 4-piece emblem overrides the gain that your team gets from the tenacity attack bonus. Does that make sense? That's the only like true end game upgrade that you could make.
The tenacity on Sarah is also more just so that I can play with Raiden's nuke screenshot numbers. These pieces won't go to waste because
Yeah.
I'm going to eventually farm Emblem, but the thing is, it's not my priority right now because I'm still trying to figure out my second team for like full commitment. I have played with Emblem of Severed Fate before on Sarah, and like even with scuffed pieces, she does like 80,000 burst damage, and with proper building, she can do hundreds of thousands.
Yep. But you care about Raiden more, and honestly, that's based. That's a good choice. So
I know it's based.
I will not correct you there. Your Bennett build?
Wow.
Your builds
it has 200 plus recharge.
This is very good. And that is
a lot of recharge. Yes, Bennett has 0 crit rate, but that's not what he's built for.
Holy shit! So do I even need to review your account? Because you already know basically everything you need to know. Your builds are already like perfect cookie cutter stuff for exactly what you need. It's like I'm guessing like most of this is just recharge a little bit of HP for the healing purpose. You have HP here, you have HP here, you have energy. Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, like, what can I really say? I can probably just describe what you're intending to do here.
Yeah, because like Bennett has 249 recharge because I put the Sapwood Blade on him because around 4.5 was when I realized that Sapwood Blade was not a gacha weapon. It took me 5 patches to realize that Sapwood was not a gacha weapon.
It's okay, I've made same mistakes like that, it's all good.
But then I realized, as soon as I realized, I decided to just drop the prototype Rancor and level the Sapwood Blade.
You know, this funny. Chat, you guys remember prototype Rancor. This weapon, unironically, like, was a part of a lot of people's teams, like, way back in the beginning of the game. It's like not a bad weapon, it just got completely outscaled as the game progressed, and we had better craftable swords come out, so... That is
yeah, the only reason why I had the prototype Rancor in Bennett was the base attack. And nothing else. It's like saying Akia Favonia on Bennett if you don't have Mistsplitter.
Okay,
so let's go.
Who are your other characters? Neuvillette. Okay.
Neuvillette.
Pretty good.
He doesn't have the best. I just got Sacrificial Jade because he was on the Witsith because I just needed a weapon for him. But as you said, the Witsith, only 1 of 3 buffs is good.
Yeah.
So I just threw it on him while I waited to, because I got Neuvillette like after claiming another deathmatch to R5 it. So I needed to wait for another patch, another battle pass, and I finally got the Sacrificial Jade. I do plan to R5 it, and it gives the ridiculous crit rate, which means I can go focus on just crit damage and cap at 64 and go like 240 plus.
I was actually a little bit concerned that you were going to overcap, because usually when it comes to Sacrificial Jade, it means that all of your artifacts are forced to have essentially 7% crit rate or lower, which when you get, or you can just get lucky and roll over 30 crit damage here. But when you're
that was my first 30 crit damage piece.
Holy
Funny enough. This is my Raiden nuke piece because it has 17 attack, 10 recharge. But if you stick it on Raiden Shogun, she has way too low crit rate, so it wasn't the right choice for her.
I was gonna say, like, damn, like that's a good piece. Goblet, Hydro damage bonus, just unlucky substats, totally fine.
I just got the piece, so
you just got it?
So if it is your only piece, it is your best piece.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you have to.
And
there's no other way around it.
Because I was using an HP goblet, but unlike Farina, before C2, HP isn't efficient on Neuvillette. But the thing is, I had to go ER Sans because either I'd have too much recharge or too little.
Yep. That is... So the thing about your specific build, because you don't have Tome, right? Not having his signature weapon means you lack the free energy that his Tome gives. And if you're not Constellations, then you do need recharge, which means either you have perfect substats, which is pretty hard to get, or you're forced to run timepiece, which you chose to do. So you made the correct decision here. You had to sacrifice your HP pool for it, but I think that's inevitable because if you don't have your recharge, you can't fucking do anything anyway. So.
Right, like I'd much rather have lower damage numbers but consistency than higher damage numbers but lack of consistency. I am a consistency type of a player.
You're not like Chad, just fucking trying to one-shot things. True.
Right. But I do want to remove the energy recharge from all of my other pieces and switch it for HP because recharge on Neverlet is kind of an icky story. He has an above average energy cost, but funny enough, he does not need like 200 plus recharge, unlike some other characters.
So
like 151.8 would be more than adequate for me.
So unfortunately, Neverlet is going to need some upgrades in the future, but that's okay. I mean, you already know exactly what you need upgrades on, right? So I don't need to be a broken record for you.
I actually had a crit rate circlet on Neverlet while I was using the Witsys. So I had 115% crit rate for a little bit, but then I decided I put the piece into I fed that piece because it was absolutely garbage for what it was.
Got it.
So I took the crit damage, the nuke piece, the Raiden nuke piece, the crit damage piece, and put it on Neverlet. Because now he has the onset timepiece, which isn't completely trash. So that's why he has the piece at this time. Like a lot of my characters have off pieces because it's the flexibility of how Genshin has 5 pieces, but you only need 4 out of 5. Unlike an HSR where you actually have to have all 4 out of 4 pieces of the exterior, and the inner 2 pieces can't be off pieces either. It doesn't work that way. And that's why I never let it, and that's why my builds are like this.
That's true. Also, I noticed, just to clarify for chat, since you guys are missing a little bit of context here, he means with Marechaussee. So if he switched this to a crit rate mask, he would be 115% crit with the added of Marechaussee. Because you guys are like, wait, no way, he's not. He's only 55, or how could it be 115? It's plus 36. Take into account plus 36. That's what he's including. Okay.
Yeah, so in the future, I do want to get a crit damage piece with even more crit rate because that would allow me to run more HP percent and kind of game the system a little bit. Because we all know that, like I know, like from the artifact rolls, everyone rolls dead stats, but I want to endorse dead HP as good HP, and that's why I wanted even more crit on the damage circuit.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to focus on it.
Yeah. Just get lucky, basically. Forehead. Just get more crit rate. Forehead.
Yeah.
Next
Xing
Cho. Okay. Let's see. How is he? Oh, he's got sack sword.
Xing Cho is, the sack sword. Yep. I do have randomly a sack sword rolling around, so I was like,
holy
let's go sack sword.
Shit. Wait, hold on. Your build's actually crazy. What the? Hold on. Wait. 250 recharge with 7140. Wait a minute. Oh,
and you might be like,
he's kind of cooking.
If my pieces are that trash, and I have such trash luck with artifacts, how do I have these pieces? Well, they're basically Raiden hand-me-downs. They're Raiden hand-me-downs. So basically, the pieces that Raiden Shogun does not want, or they don't perform as well, they go to other emblem characters.
Aware. Damn, Xingqiu, how do you feel about that?
And sometimes if let's say I get a Hydro damage bonus with double crit on Xingqiu, then that would be totally wrong for Raiden because like Raiden Shogun doesn't, like, she wants electro damage bonus. But because it's the same artifact domain, Xingqiu now gets a piece of that pizza. That's how it works.
So what happened with 5 emblem? Do you have any plans on are you waiting, or is this is just how it happened? Because you have one extra.
It's how it happened because.
Oh, okay.
What happened is, it's because I tested attack goblet versus electro damage bonus goblet on Raiden Shogun, and I ultimately decided that the electro goblet is better because of the multipliers. Because attack on attack is diminishing returns, and that's why I went attack goblet on Xingqiu because it's a hand-me-down for Raiden. Raiden didn't perform as well with this, despite it being 41 crit value versus a 31 crit piece on the Raiden, which is electro bonus.
That's bad, man.
Xingqiu inherited this piece.
Feels bad. Yeah. Raiden doesn't get this because diminishing returns. Aware. All right, but I think you're right. Your Xingqiu build is very, very nice. I do think that if you ever have the chance to, I guess for the current build, I think it's perfect. And the reason why is because you don't have R5. So that means that your sack sword rate is actually, you're expected not to get a reset. So you actually need this amount of recharge because otherwise you're kind of screwed. I was gonna say eventually if you were to get for example, R5 stack sword, or you decided to do a Fabsh, you could like Favonius sword instead. Favonius may require a double hydro in the team in order to have more hydro particle funneling. In that particular case, you could make your Xingqiu stronger by replacing the ER timepiece with attack %, right? That is totally an option. Because yeah,
absolutely. Because the thing is that I'm currently playing Neuvillette with Xingqiu. So the idea here, the original idea was, I would have a pyro to vaporize, so that I can do vape, and then Neuvillette can benefit from it. But at the same time, Xingqiu funnels particles into Neuvillette. But despite how many particles Xingqiu generates, 109 recharge was not enough for Neuvillette.
Okay.
And the next one is yoimiya. I ended up.
I didn't hear you invest in her, right? Your slideshow here doesn't have yoimiya on, so that was not expected. That's cool.
Yoimiya was another inheritance from Raiden. But it's because
I see.
But it's not because she uses emblem, because that's not emblem, but no, because I was dumping all the Shimenawa's pieces, even if they were double crit energy recharge or double crit attack %. So I wanted to build yoimiya because I didn't want to destroy so many artifacts. Like 70, like 158 recharge, like 158 crit damage. That's very low for Thundering Pulse. But these are the pieces I was able to scrounge together without having to dedicatedly farm or strongbox Shimenawas.
Yeah, that's expected. Most people who do emblem do end up getting a bunch of Shimenawa pieces, so this is not unusual. I'm just gonna go through really quick. With Thundering Pulse, having 158 crit damage is a wee bit low, but that is okay. I feel okay about the build though, because you didn't sacrifice your crit rate at the expense of your crit damage, which most people do. So I do
run a crit rate circlet, so that's the reason why the crit rate is still like it's passable.
Oh no, the crit rate's great. There's nothing wrong with the crit rate at all. I would rather you have this crit rate than have 50 crit and 200 crit damage. Like, of course, that's
of course. Like, yeah. But the recharge is like, I was just thinking, is yoimiya okay with absolutely zero recharge, because she's not burst focused. So,
you don't need recharge at all. It is a completely like extra filler stat. You don't, if you have 100% recharge, you just pretend like you're never gonna burst. It's totally fine.
Yeah, and my yoimiya randomly has 193 EM from substats. It's not an EM timepiece, because it's impossible for that number to be like EM timepiece.
I would love to go through the build, because then I could see that. I know you're super excited to describe to me the build.
I'll just tell you right now, short base, attack stance, pyro damage, bonus goblet, crit rate circlet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, let me just see really quick. So how'd you manage to do that? 10-7, here's not bad.
28 points.
Wow, that is man, Hu Tao would be eating really good if she had this piece. Holy shit, okay. I mean, the CV on this is 35, and the stat is, what, 50%? It's 50% stat on this. That's pretty good.
I'm not really sure if it would be 50% stat. Like, I don't give full marks for Elemental Mastery on yoimiya, but it's like 75, maybe like 40 points.
Timepiece, and then 614.
Attack stance. It's because it's because my off-piece attack stance went into something else. So that's why.
Do you want to level this one up?
I will. I just don't have. If you can see, my account has like no pieces.
Oh wow.
I don't have that many pieces. So I need to reserve these for like proper farming. And yoimiya is not part of my main team. She's just my companionship team.
Hey.
My companionship team is overrun.
I have a suggestion. You said you didn't lack EXP, but it seems to me like you are lacking EXP. The strongbox that you +4, they could have been here, you know? They could have. They definitely could have been here. I'm just saying.
It's just because so many Marasesi and Golden True pieces are getting chances, because I'm taking them. They have like 1 crit and then energy recharge and HP, and then I'm trying to roll the other crit because I'm just trying to get better pieces. That's where all the EXP went.
I love how you
say
Marasesi.
And that was the same case when I was. And that was the same way when I was farming Emblem. A lot of pieces actually got chances because they were like double crit with like energy recharge, and then they just faltered.
Chat, I appreciate that he says Marasasi, because I know he watches my content, because I'm the only dumbass who says Marasasi. Just saying, by the way.
It is a sus artifact set after all.
Mars says it. I'm the only one that says it.
Pyro
You gotta
damage
use what you gotta use, right? It's on set.
Yeah, so, but I'll tell you right now, in a little bit of time, I'll show you my best artifact piece that it's on the, it's also, yeah, I'll show you my best artifact in a little bit.
Okay, and then
With
mask.
77
Oh, I
PM,
see. So you have a lot of elemental mastery at the unfortunate cost of potential crit damage, but that's okay. That's fine. I mean, it happens.
Yeah, because the 13 recharge is dead on Yoimiya because Yoimiya needs no recharge. So I'm trying to farm a better pyro damage bonus goblet, but I'm currently not farming Emblem at this time. I'm not farming Autumn Hunt. I'm just farming Harmony, which is the Mara Sessi Golden Troop domain, and then strongboxing trash Mara and golden pieces to Emblem. No Shimenalis at this time.
Okay.
So that's fine.
All right, next.
Xiangling.
Of course.
Now Xiangling is out of service, but I want to show you like 4 out of the 5 pieces are still worthy of showing.
And also, I just realized that she is not part of the 70 out of 80 group, unfortunately.
Because I have her materials, but I don't know if it's gonna. The reason why the crit ratio is so bad is because I fed one of my main Xiangling pieces into another piece because I took Xiangling out of service.
How could you?
So this is not because well, in your character review, you asked me to run the catch and put an EM timepiece, which means Xiangling will stay out of service until she gets new pieces.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't have to feed a piece. You don't have to feed her old piece.
Okay, but like, let's take a look at her. Like, here's the thing. Like, the circlet is temporary.
Ooh.
The circlet is, it's not supposed to be there. So, but look at this.
Okay.
18, this was a very, very, very weird piece. Like, this was a weird piece. 18 recharge with 10 crit rate and 7 damage. Yeah. It didn't work out for Raiden Shogun. This was energy recharge, crit rate, crit damage, just the first 3 lines. Like, so even if this was but it rolled really weird into energy recharge, so it was not a Raiden piece. So I gave it to Xiangling instead.
Yeah, it works very good for Xiangling. It's solid 47 staff for her. That's very good.
Because
very good for her.
It has the element of mastery, which I can give points for, crit rate, crit damage, energy recharge, and I will lose 50 recharge because I'm still running an ER timepiece on her.
Yeah,
she hasn't gotten the EM. Yeah, she hasn't gotten the EM timepiece that you asked me to.
Yeah,
so.
eventually, you shouldn't change this piece because the only way that this piece can technically get better for Xiangling is if it were 4-line start and it rolled 1 more into crit. Because currently, you're going to need this recharge when you switch to EM timepiece while maintaining the catch. Otherwise, your recharge gets like to a point where she can't fully burst. So that would be very unfortunate.
So let's take a look at the attack feather, which is another weird piece. Another failed Raiden piece.
It looks great. The piece.
It was a failed Raiden piece. It was a failed Raiden piece because it rolled too many energy recharge stats.
Yeah. Xiangling, how do you feel about that? All you're getting are failed Raiden pieces.
And then the energy recharge timepiece, which will soon be taken off of her once she gets Elemental Mastery. Let's take a look at that piece.
I mean, it's still not bad. It's still pretty solid.
This was the original piece when I submitted the original Raiden character review.
Oh, okay. So Raiden got an upgrade then.
Because Elemental Mastery is dead on Raiden. Attack percent isn't exactly the most useful on Raiden. And there's an HP line.
It's still very useful. It's very attack percent is unironically pretty useful because a lot of the time when you get to an endgame Raiden Shogun build, she actually overloads in recharge damage bonus, and having attack percent, even if you use it with Bennett, is still not bad. Because when you run Engulfing Lightning, right, even though it converts attack, like the attack percent still balances out all of her stats. Because a best build doesn't run attack main stat. So.
All right, chat. Okay. Are you ready
Pyro
for
Goblet?
the best goblet ever? This was my best goblet ever rolled on this account. This was 4-line. It is double defense, but it rolled 4-line.
Yeah.
Though low-ish roll on the crit rate, it is 4-line and all rolled crit. And I knew this was a piece.
You got it. No, you're explaining something else. I don't want to look at that piece. You're explaining something else.
The circlet not supposed to be there. This is a garbage circlet. It's just there because Xiangling's out of service at this point.
I see.
But yeah, this was 4-line as well, but it rolled defense like multiple times and HP 1 time. Yeah.
Your Xiangling build is There are certain pieces that are very good. Actually, there's a lot of pieces that are very good. You literally just need to switch out the mask, I think.
I need to switch the timepiece and
Oh,
the
yeah, the
mask
timepiece.
according
Sorry,
to...
yeah.
Yeah,
Timepiece.
because I took Strongly out of service. Dia is actually in my current second team, but she's also not done yet. So
Wait, are we looking at DJ then?
She's just a bunch of elemental mastery. So she's just a bunch of elemental mastery because I found this weird ass team. So I was like Nevelet, Dia, Kazuha, Nahida. It was like burning vapes.
Holy shit! You are literally you watch the chef. There's no way. There's no way you would build burning D here with EM unless you don't watch the chef.
But no, she doesn't have full pieces yet because Gilded Dreams is not strong boxable at this time, and also I'm trying to farm Marasaki.
I see.
So,
everything's been calculated.
Gilded is on pause at this time, and yeah, and I think that's all we have at this time.
All right.
And yeah, because Traveler doesn't have that many pieces. Doesn't have pieces at this time.
Okay.
Her pieces aren't leveled up. Sucrose's pieces are also not leveled up, so I'm not gonna look at them.
Yeah, we can ignore. All right, so you say that your Raiden Shogun has improved. Is that what you said?
Take a look at the details.
Engulfing Lightning at R1 level 80. You can't level 90, right? Oh my god, it even tells me. Requires adventure rank 50. Okay, I see. So I need to keep in mind. Yeah, I need to keep in mind that you are lacking level 90 stats. By the way, chat, all of the builds that you saw are lacking Ascension level 90 and Weapon level 90 stats. That is a small thing, but a very important thing. It basically means that all of these stat values are missing maybe like 1 to 2, about 10% stat. Probably estimate that. All right, Raiden, what are your stats?
Take a look at the details.
What the hell is that recharge?
She's got a bit more points. She's got a bit more HP now. I still have the ridiculous recharge.
Jesus Christ, okay. You have a very, very good crit damage. Getting plus 65 here, plus 90 here is not easy, but your recharge, you have 30% substat on recharge. Okay, let me see really quick. Holy fuck, plus 91.3, okay. Timepiece gives you 51.8, so you're actually plus 40%. Unfortunately, it is slightly wasted, because you're about 15 wasted. That's okay. How are the pieces overall, though? Okay.
Well, the thing is, I still am missing 13.5 from Ascension, so I do need to divert some crit stats into energy recharge. Now, this isn't actually my best flower, but it's what I needed because the other piece has like 3.9, 25.7, but it had 9.1 recharge. But yeah, my crit rate was a little bit too low. Like it was like 68.8, 151, but I still like the 71 because I did the math, and with this amount of crit and energy recharge, 1,000 Raiden bursts would do like 372 million. Like with 1,000 Raiden bursts would average 300 would do like 372 million.
Okay.
But if I use the 68 151 with 278 recharge, it would be 371 million. The crit damage, the numbers are worse, but the consistency is much better.
Dude, no way, bro.
And I get the better recharge, and I can charge a burst with a burst. That is the most important thing about my Raiden.
This Monka math, actual Monka math. Oh, nice, very good time, a very good feather.
This is a new piece. This is a new piece. 27.2, 7.4, so it is 42 points. 42 points.
Weird.
And here's the
actual
this was
weird
a 4-line
moment. Dude, Chad, this is such a weird moment, man. This piece should not be allowed to exist.
And that was the reason why I was able to drop the crit rate on I was able to drop the crit damage on this piece and move it to another piece. Because this piece is like 18 crit rate, which is obviously better than the 13 on the other piece, with 9 HP and a little bit of some attack. And then here's the goblet, 24.1, 3.5. Yeah, very low rolls, because 6, 6, 6, and 6. I'm trying to get electric goblets, but they are so impossibly hard.
I mean, the fact that you have one is already, that's all you need.
And
you have one.
The reason why it's on Nim stream is because I was farming Borakasha's Glow at the same time. And that was for Shevers, and I randomly pulled this piece.
Mass?
And then the
okay, I see.
Crit rate, recharge, 25 crit damage, and 9 HP.
You eventually, I can see you eventually running this piece in the future. looking at all these pieces, right, there's actually a lot of optimization. The only two pieces that I would consider keeping are your feather and your timepiece. I think for your specific case, it's actually worth trying to force this because of how much stat it gives you. This gives you, unironically, 47%. Like if you use everything from it, mostly just the crit rate and the attack is very important. Otherwise, it's not bad to use this. It's not bad to use your current one. It just lacks 17.5 attack. You forcing this piece would force your flower and your feather and your goblet. In the best case scenario, like absolute end game, you would be able to do it. Like you would be running a 14-14 here. You would also be running a 14-14 here. It would offset the crit that you lose. You would be 70 to 75%.
I'll keep these pieces for now because this is an awesome build. Like,
yeah,
this is
great build.
Like,
this is amazing build.
It's 1.5-ish with a bunch of extra recharge. But once I AR50 my account and level 90 the characters, I can switch the whole Raiden build and make it even stronger. Because the crit damage I
really respect how you have so.
It is a much bigger room to improve because even if I were to get 6 perfect crit damage rolls, that would be 46.6 crit damage, and we've never seen a piece with that amount of crit damage. But 62.2 crit damage on a main stat circlet is guaranteed crit damage, and if I can get like 18 or even 19 crit rate, I can run slightly more balanced crit rate, and I would still get 70 crit rate with like 170 crit damage. That's the end game build. And I do need to lose some recharge.
Oh yeah,
once I level 90 the character, because at this rate I'm at 299 recharge. Even with the change in pieces, I'm at 299 recharge. If you took the original character review, I would be if you took that build from that original character review, I would be way overcapped, like cross 300. And that's a big no-no for Raiden.
So you understand what recharge you need to go down to, right?
I need to go down to like 270s maybe?
Right, 270 because your weapon will cap you at 300%. Just making sure. So when you fully ascend, you need to lose 30%. Losing 30% recharge from your current stats is quite a bit. Because if you look at it, Raiden Shogun base recharge is very, very high. So in order to lose 30% recharge, you essentially have to lose 30 out of 40% of your total. 4 out of 5 of your pieces will probably not have any recharge substat. If they have one, it's okay. But that also means that a piece like this feather, a piece like this flower will eventually have dead recharge. Like this 16% is considered dead. So we're looking at just the 614 here.
Yeah, I was just thinking like, because I do plan to, if Raiden Shogun and her weapon ever come in the Chronicle Wish banner, because she does qualify, she just has to wait her time. I do plan to go the route of R5ing the Engulfing Lightning, if I have the funds to do so.
Okay.
So I do need to drop further if that's the case. Like 264 is my ultimate goal because I can then also cap the attack percent of the attack passive at R5 with 264 because you add 50% at R5, which is 314, which 120 over like 56% of recharge over base 100%.
Yeah, you don't need to do the math. Also, when you're R5, you instantly get the max cap. You don't need to worry about it. Wow, it's very, 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 very solid. Is there anything you want me to try to wrap things up? Because I don't know if you've realized, but it's been 2 hours. How do you feel? You feel like no time has passed?
How about we just go? Yeah, let's just like try Spiral Abyss because. Yeah, I'm not very good at control. I'm not very good at control. Abandon the challenge because I was trying something.
Okay.
Yeah. Abandon the challenge because I was trying some stuff with my Novelette team. Because I'm not perfectly done with my teams, I am not able to 36-star the Abyss, unlike the other people. Like, if you take a look at my challenge summary, it's like 6, 6, 6, and then it's like suddenly all jump to 28.
Yeah, so I think that given you can't fully ascend your character, it's a bit hard. It's a bit difficult, considering your base HP is lower, your base attack and base defense lower, so your survivability is lower. Especially like I'm looking at this Mago Genki and I'm feeling like I'm gonna get railed up my ass by these three. Like I don't know if I really want to face this with your current team because we are 23 levels below them, and I'm probably gonna get like 2 or 3 shot. But we can try. We can try.
So the 3-axe Kenki is on it's easiest for me to just run it on this side.
Okay.
Because Yeah, and then and then I would typically like. This is not a finished build, but Neverlet, Dia, Xingqiu, Yao Yao is how I would play the second team. But just a disclaimer, it's not done. So
yeah, it's fine. It's totally fine. Like you don't have many characters to work with to begin with, so it's like I don't expect you to have like the perfect team, right? So you go Raiden Shogun into Bennett E.
Yes.
Is there a reason why?
It triggers overloaded, or you can just go straight to Chevreuse Q. That will also work as well.
Yeah, I was gonna.
But Raiden Bennett E is it's also just timing purposes.
Oh wow.
Stop right there. Teamwork
See if we can just do this.
Strike. Storm the front. Inazuma shines eternal.
Oh, damage pretty good.
Under.
Well, they also smacked me in the face like I expected. Okay.
Yeah. Also, the Gale Kenki is the problem.
Final warning. Hands where I can see them.
Like I wouldn't play it like this because the Gale Kenki keeps going around. Oh,
no turning
you got it
back.
this time.
Torn to oblivion.
No! Ah!
Okay. Come on! No, it didn't triple threat!
Justice will prevail! Drop your weapon! Let's light it up! Everybody stand back! Quiver! Inazuma shines eternal!
Oh, okay, we got good. Where's the other one? Where's the last one? Where's the last one?
Shine down! Hands where I can see them! Final war! Going in! Storm the front! Now you shall perish!
If they're grouped better, we can do it faster than that.
Yeah. I tried. I'm gonna tell you, I don't think we're doing 3 stars on a champion. Just simply because I got a 28-second clear on the first saber and still didn't have enough damage on this second team. This second team is very work in progress.
Look alive!
Be sanctified.
Oh, I don't have that up. Okay.
Rain cutter.
Not oversight on my part.
You probably don't because
Look alive!
the 2 Frost operatives were a problem in the 4.5 of it.
Why am I Dia bursting? That is the fattest waste of time.
No, Dia's not supposed to have any energy recharge.
Let the mighty be humble.
Dia's just there for the interruption resistance.
No, my sword! Let me weave you a verse.
This is probably the wrong abyss for me either. These abysses keep getting harder and harder and harder.
Bow your head.
This is Her Majesty's gift!
The tides beckon.
I can't believe I'm using Xingqiu for particle generation. Oh, that is the first. Excuse me.
Buckle up! Stay put!
Damn, Chad, what's after this? Yeah, probably
The two operatives. Yeah, I couldn't even do it either. Like, I've never been able to 3-star a floor 12. So, yeah, I don't think it's the right abyss for me to try because just things get way too hard. Alright, you just do what you do, try your best on this domain, and if it fails, then if it fails by pure damage, then it's a damage
My
problem.
sword! Rain cutter! Boba, get them!
Annoying.
A festive reprise! Let's get it on! Hi! Body and mind. Rain outlines your fate. Let me weave you a verse. Out of the frying pan, into the fire! Fire hazard!
That one's lower. Oh, the yikes. Okay.
Gloves off!
No, leave your ult. I just wanted to iframe.
No, my sword!
Aware.
Witness the power of Gugwa, huh? Guba, get them! Eat this!
Xiang Ling with no vent is a little weird though. Oh, okay. Looks like I managed to get it.
Here comes the fireworks!
Possible?
Look alive! Ha! No, my sword! Ring cutter!
I don't think we're gonna be able to kill the pirates here.
This is Her Majesty's gift!
Oh dear.
You asked for it! No!
No!
Ruin everything?
Yeah, I don't think it's possible. It's okay.
It's
That's
okay.
okay.
Because
At least we tried, guys. YouTube frogs, that is going to wrap up account review number 27. As you guys can see, definitely, I think, in my opinion, probably one of the most unique accounts and players I think I'll probably ever review. Because the way that they play is drastically different than what I've like seen. And I think that is gives a little bit of insight. I think it's cool. I think it's gonna be really cool to showcase, right? A lot of you guys in the YouTube comments probably won't agree, or they'll be like, "Oh my god, you know, this is so obsessive." But at the end of the day, right? The way I do these account reviews is to show difference. I'm not going to account review the same type of account. It's gonna be boring, right? I want to find new ones. I want to see what other people are doing, and this is definitely a prime example of that. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Show you some support. Thank you guys very much for watching. Be respectful in the comments as always. And see you next time. Take care.